missed she'd been given for Christmas. Might as well have had "Eat Me" tattooed on her forehead. And prevented a Game Boy, TM, from taking over the world. Handheld computer games were more competitive than most people thought. She'd also stopped Nick Packwood from hanging a second grader out the window by his heels, but since she still wasn't entirely certain the kid hadn't deserved it, she usually left that particular incident off her "Reasons Why Mr. Watson Should Thank His Gods I'm on the Bus" list. Making her way back through the Rugrats, Diana noticed, without surprise, that the last 6 rows, the rows reserved for the high school students on the route, were nearly empty. On this, the last day of the high school year, only 2 freshmen had been unable to find alternative transportation. "My brother was going to give me a ride," said the first as she passed. "But he had to go to work really early." "Yeah, I was going to ride my bike, but I had, an asthma attack," the other explained, holding up his inhaler for corroboration. Diana ignored them both. First, because a senior acknowledging freshman would open up all sorts of possibilities she had no desire to deal with. Second, as the youngest, and therefore most powerful keeper. As one of the lineage who maintained the mystical balance of the world, as someone who had helped close a hole to hell and faced down demons, she didn't need to justify her reasons for taking the bus. Settling into her regular seat, she thanked any gods who might be listening that this would be the last day she'd ever be at the mercy of public education. Frowning, Diana crossed the main hall toward the stairs, trying to get a fix on the faint wrongness she could feel. It wasn't a full-out accident site. No holes had been opened into the lower ends of the possibilities, allowing evil to lap up against closed doors, leading to empty classrooms. But something was out of place, and as long as she was in the building, finding it and fixing it was in the job description. Actually, it pretty much was the job description. As far as Diana was concerned, all high schools needed keepers. Nothing poked holes in the fabric of reality faster than a few thousand hormonally challenged teenagers, all crammed into one ugly cinder block building. Unattended, that was exactly the sort of situation likely to create the kind of person who developed an operating system that crashed every time someone attempted to download an Amanda tapping screensaver. The sudden appearance of a guidance counselor actually emerging from his office and heading straight for her nearly sent Diana running toward the nearest washroom. She didn't want her last day ruined by yet another pointless confrontation. Fortunately, she realized he felt the same way before her feet started moving. "Fuck it. What's the point?" Flashed into the thought balloon over his head, and he slid past without meeting her gaze. The thought balloons had appeared back in grade 9 when, after half an hour of platitudes, she'd wondered just what exactly he was thinking. An unexpected puberty-propelled power surge had anchored the balloons so firmly she'd never been able to get rid of them. And she'd spent the last 4 years finding out rather more than she wanted to about the fantasy lives of middle-aged men. Pamela Anderson and hockey. Occasionally, Pamela Anderson playing hockey. Some of the visuals were admittedly interesting. The wrongness led her up the stairs, through the first cafeteria, and into the second, weirdly the hangout of both the jocks and the music geeks. Now empty, except for a group of girls who'd laid claim to the far corner by the northwest windows. A flash of aubergine light pulled her toward them. The senior girls' basketball team, Diana realized as she drew closer. Probably hanging around in order to remain the senior girls' basketball team. Over 2/3 of them were graduating, so once they stepped out the door, they'd be a team no longer. So I said to him, "I'm not putting that in my mouth." Tall, blonde,